Hey guys, it's Shenita with the news, and I'm back with a new video. I need you to like, comment, and subscribe. I need you to get kinky with that notification bell and turn that thing all the way on. Well, guys, I just want you to know that I watched that Kenya Moore interview. Okay, I'm gonna get into part 2 before I get into part 1 because you know, I'm behind. Listen, guys, my mic, it just stopped working. You know, the devil is a bald-headed scallywag and lie. All right, you know, the devil just keeps finding me on this thing, and that's how I know I'm supposed to be talking crap. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I get on a roll here, here's another thing coming my way. But call me Nita Mario Coin, because I'm gonna get through all these phases, honey, to get to them coins. All right, and so let's get into it. This Carlos King interview part 2 with Kenya Moore was everything that I needed. I'm going to make a video on part 1, but I want to catch up with you guys. Like I said, I'm behind. And so the beautiful Miss Kenya Moore, okay, did a 2-part interview, and I'm going to get into the second part. Like I said before, she touched on some okay, she touched on some things. And so the thing that really tripped me out, she tore Marlo up. She tore her up. The first part was a warm up. This second part was gunshots loaded. Cock it back. All right. Pow, pow, pibbity, pow. All right. And so I love it. I love me a messy Kenya Moore. You know, right now I'm going back and I'm watching, you know, the beginning seasons, and I'm telling you, I'm going to do a review on these old seasons, because let me tell you something. You realize a lot once you go back, especially with all this new tea. Okay. And so I want to say this. I do feel like Kenya Moore was bullied. I do. Kenya stole me. I was a Nene fan. And I believe a lot of Kenya fans were Nene fans, but we realized we was eating the Moroccan noodles, and then Kenya came and we started to eat the top ramen. You know what I'm saying? And so we realized that, you know, we liked messy, but we needed some talented messy. You know, I want to say this. Kenya, I believe the reason why Kenya is really, really, really hated, I'm going to tell you why. And even though people compare her and Nene a lot, I feel like people dislike Kenya Moore. Okay? Like, they dislike Kenya Moore because, you know, she's beautiful and talented. I think that's what it is. I mean, a lot of people compare Nene and Kenya and them not having great relationships with their mom, right? Both abandoned by their mom. But I feel like people throw the abandonment in Kenya's face more than they do Nene. And I think it's because Nene isn't as attractive as Kenya. I feel like it's hard for people to feel sympathy or empathy for Kenya because she is beautiful, talented, and then she flaunts it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you can be beautiful, but the moment you say it, people hate you, and then they call you vain. You know what I'm saying? You can be beautiful, but you cannot own that. You have to, allow people to choose when they're going to tell you you can feel beautiful. Like, only when they say it. I feel like when attractive women acknowledge their beauty and kind of say it out loud, then I think a lot of unattractive people feel offended by that, because it's like, how can you just say that in the open? People generally want beautiful people to feel ugly. That's just what I feel. So I feel the only difference in treatment, I've always asked myself, why do people treat Kenya worse than they treat Nene? Seeing as though they both have a similar past, seeing as though they both have said and done some not so good things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and the only thing that I could see that was different between them really was that Kenya was more attractive. Kenya had more accolades, more talent, and then she's really smart. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I feel that Kenya is treated differently than Nene Leakes. Now, I'm not saying that Nene Leakes, after allegedly a little tune up on her face, you know what I'm saying, and a little tune up here and there, didn't become softer on the eyes. That's I'm definitely not saying that, but I am definitely saying that Kenya was beautiful coming into season 5. Okay, and so you guys can say what you want. You can argue with Jesus. It's all right. You can argue in the comment section about that. But listen, it's just what it is. You can't be beautiful, talented, smart. People get jealous about that. Also, like I said, Kenya Moore was bullied coming into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I do believe, as I have heard Nene's interview and all that she had to say, and now that I've listened to Kenya, I do believe that allegedly either there was a pact, in my opinion, where the ladies seen Kenya coming and realized that she was real talent, that she was a real threat, and allegedly, in my opinion, okay, I do feel like they had to attack her and dim her light because her light was already on. She was already well known. She was already in the industry. She had been for years. And so I feel like some people were a little bit jealous, allegedly, in my opinion, of Kenya Moore being able to steal the show. That's just my feelings, allegedly, in my opinion. It does feel like the girls had to dim, Kenya's star, like Nene said. Now, this came out of Nene's mouth. Kenya was a star before Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I agree about that. Like I said, I really do think, it wasn't just the fact that people got to see Kenya's reality, that made folks not like her. I really think it was a lot of manipulation and how people were trying to paint, her as desperate. People trying to paint her as ugly. They even used to say that she was unattractive, honey. They would call her oatmeal pie face. Remember how they would do that? Remember how the girls would get together and just dog Kenya? I mean, a lot of people really need to go back and really watch it with a neutral set of eyes. Okay? And please don't be lazy. You know, I realized that people, especially when she talked about how people lied on her and never provided proof, and yet all these people believed it. Where is the proof for anything that Kenya Moore was accused of? Did we have any receipts for Walter being fake? Did we ever get any receipts for that? Did we ever get any receipts for the nasty things that Nene has said about Brooklyn? Did we ever get receipts for any of that? I don't even understand how people still like Nene Leakes. Honestly, I don't. She is way nastier, way ruder than Kenya Moore. Y'all really sit here and act like Kenya is worse than Nene. Nene is terrible, in my opinion. And then you guys believed everything she said. Her and Phaedra. A lot of you guys did. Not everybody. The people who are mentally lazy, who make decisions about people without any factual proof. And I want to say this. A lot of the reason why Kandi went through what she went through with Portia and Phaedra and the lie is because people sat around and let lies be perpetuated and not proven when it came to Kenya Moore. And so it's funny how the lies stopped with Kandi though, and weren't allowed to be perpetuated after Kandi. And so it just goes to show, in my opinion, a lot of favoritism and a lot of bullcrap. And so no shade to Kandi, because I love Kandi Burruss. Don't get me wrong. I love Kandi Burruss. I still don't understand how Kandi has forgiven Portia. That I will never understand, how she could forgive Portia and not Phaedra, because in my opinion, Phaedra talking about something never hit the public. If it wasn't for Portia, we would have never known. And in my opinion, to forgive Portia would be forgiving Phaedra for making it up. And so you gotta make it make sense. How do you forgive the person who did the actual damage? You know what I'm saying? Now, I thought to myself, how possibly could this happen? And the only thing that I can think of is that, Portia was still allowed to be on the show after all this mess. And so it became an environment where, Kandi had to kind of let it go. But I do feel like, maybe because Kandi, does have a little attraction to Portia, allegedly, maybe it was easier for her to forgive Portia. But anyway, the ladies are probably over all that. I'm just, picking my brain. Some of you pick your noses, but me, I pick my brain. All right. And so, this Kenya Moore interview. So I want to get into some things with this Kenya Moore interview. All right. If you haven't seen it, go over there and get into it, honey. It is everything. Kenya talked about Phaedra lying, of course, about Apollo. She said that Phaedra could never produce a date, time, or anything for when she was allegedly supposed to have given, or tried to give Apollo a BJ. Okay, which I think is ridiculous. I do feel it's ridiculous to believe that without any proof. Now I will say this because people were like, "Oh, you're always on Kenya's side." I say when Kenya's wrong. I do want to say this: Kenya was very wrong for being a little flirty. I do feel that was wrong. But I do want to say this: I do feel like, the other ladies seeing that happen. I feel like maybe Apollo and Kenya flirted, off camera when they were filming, or maybe we didn't get some scenes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's the fact that the other women were like seeing it and had an opinion about it that made Phaedra feel uncomfortable. I have never for 1 second felt like Phaedra had a major issue with Kenya and Apollo. It seems like as Nene and Portia, everybody was like, "Oh my God," you know what I'm saying? Then it became like this big thing. But inappropriate behavior, nevertheless. Okay, so she talked about how Phaedra lied. She also said that Nene tipped her off, allegedly, about Walter being in cahoots with Phaedra and telling the lie that, Kenya was allegedly paying Walter to be her man. Okay, and so she revealed that. She also talked about Mark. So tired of hearing about Mark. No lie, no shade, Kenya. Love you, girl. Love you, but we are so tired of Mark. It's like, divorce him, please, and let's get it on over with. As a fan, and there's nothing wrong with being a fan of Kenya Moore, by the way. I'm a girl's girl, and I love Kenya for that. I feel like Kenya is definitely a girl's girl. I feel like Kenya, is one of those friends that will have your back no matter what you're going through. And I really do enjoy Kenya. Okay. And so I don't care how you feel about it. Love me some Miss Moore hair care. And by the way, if you haven't gotten, you any Kenya Moore's hair care, you need to get you some. Okay. Get you some Kenya Moore hair care, black girls. We like to go by that Sassoon and, all that. Support your sister. You know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of you won't because you're haters. Anyway, on to Mark. She touched on Mark, being controlling. She talked about how Mark is going to be shooting reality TV. How he's trying to trump up charges. Evidently he's trying to trump up charges, allegedly, when it was out there that he was offended by Marlo kicking Kenya's door this season while Brooklyn was in the room. And so, she said that he was trying to use that to trump up charges so that Brooklyn can film with him and then he can undo the rights to her as far as Brooklyn filming on TV. just tired of Mark, girl. We tired. We sick of him. All right. He's terrible. I think the worst thing she did was show him, because I hated that season where he was there. He treated her so bad. So bad. How do you guys feel about Mark and Kenya still being married? Do y'all think that is drawn out? So drawn out. She also talked about how they will not be showing her starting her hair salon this season, which I think is ridiculous. As an entrepreneur, I would love to see her, would have liked to see her business venture and creation of her hair salon that is open. And that's crazy to me. I seen pictures online. It was absolutely beautiful. She tears Marlo's ass up. Okay. And I want to get into it. The shade assassin, okay, was activated.
Don't activate me, Carlos.
Well, somebody has to activate you, because you're not activated on this boring ass season I'm watching.
I'm not.
And I want to say this. 25 minutes in. And this is the Carlos King. Carlos, call me, honey. Email me, honey, because I just want to know, what were you cracking up about 25 minutes into? Because it was edited out. And, honey, the way you spit, okay, that drink out, I know whatever she had to say about Marlo was absolutely terrible. Okay. Allegedly. Now, she said that Marlo was the quintessential reason why you did not make a fan a housewife. Okay. So, Kenya said that Marlo was a fan. And she is. She's giving very much fangirl. She's giving very much calculated. She's giving very much fake storyline. She's giving very much all over the place. She's giving very much take my peach away. She's giving very much pass me a plum. All right. And so at this point, I think that Marlo, in my opinion, did not use her peach right. Now, if I'm Marlo and I slash somebody in the face, and this is, you got to realize you're already known for things. You're already known for things, right? And I went back and looked at some old seasons. Kandi was the one who bought Marlo's pass to the group. She announced to, I forgot who she went and told. So, but she came back and said, did y'all see her history? Like, she slashed somebody or whatever. But anyway, so it was Kandi Messy Boots, all right, that even had revealed to the group that Marlo had a sketchy past. Now, Marlo did not take her peach this season and make it work for her. Now, I believe people were really rooting for Marlo, just like Kenya said. We were rooting for you. And Marlo, instead of her coming in and maybe, just showing that she has changed and why we should forgive her for her past, you know what I'm saying, and why we should watch her hold this peach. Instead, she, showed us, well, I don't know if it was last season or this season where she put the damn boys out. But that was bad. Marlo really hasn't showed, in my opinion, any remorse for what she did to the woman. She's trying to use Kandi, for sympathy. It's not gonna work. And while we're on Kandi, I'm gonna get back to what I'm saying, but while we're on Kandi and Marlo, I want to ask you guys, do you feel that Kandi Burruss is responsible in any way for what happened to Marlo's nephew? And I want to say that I don't believe that Kandi is responsible in any way for her nephew's decisions that ultimately ended up being, his demise. Okay, so I'm gonna say this: if you had a nephew and he was deleted, and let's say your nephew worked at McDonald's, would McDonald's somehow have the same responsibility for that situation? Because I feel like, Kandi is a black businesswoman. She's coming up in the world. She's at the top. Don't get me wrong, but she's still growing and she's still, in business. And it feels like because Kandi is a black woman, Marlo is more prone to make her responsible for something that she's really not responsible for as a business. She wasn't responsible for it. And so I want to know if that same situation had happened and her nephew worked at Mickey D's. Like, would she be treating it the same way? Would she, be reaching out to Mickey D's saying, hey, this happened to my nephew, and you guys should be sending flowers and cards and candy. See, the thing is that Kandi is providing jobs for areas that don't have opportunities, which in my opinion is remarkable. But why would you then try to take someone who is creating opportunities for people who don't really have opportunities? Why would you want to down her business like that as a black woman? Like, that just turned me off from Marlo completely. Like, come on, girl. Come on, this is business. I know that we cool, but don't come at my business and my brand because you don't really have a business. You done spelled l'archive wrong. You know what I'm saying? And everybody noticed it. You didn't even Google, how to do that right. And so Marlo gives me, I gotta make everybody else accountable for things, but I'm accountable for nothing. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to also make Kandi somehow accountable for dang it, accountable for her expungement. Like, why didn't you look that up yourself? Google works for everybody. I feel like as long as Google is around, we shouldn't really have a lot of questions, because you can literally Google any question in the world. Why didn't you know that you could get an expungement? Why didn't you care enough yourself to get an expungement? Why is it everybody else's job to care about, your record? It's your record. You know what I'm saying? You're taking no responsibility, in my opinion, for what you did to the woman. And then you don't even want to take responsibility for expunging it. It's like, girl, get out of here. Ugh. Marlo has got to go. Okay? I can't take it. I thought Marlo was going to come on, show us how she made her money. We still don't know how she made her money. I feel like, how dare you sit here and sell used clothes, which makes sense because you were thrift shopping as a kid, and now you found, you took that experience and created the archive. But then when Kandi was giving away her clothes that she probably didn't even wear, that was a problem. But yet you can rent out your used clothes. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I don't mean no harm. You know what I'm saying? But them clothes need to be prayed over before they give up. Marlo has a nasty, I've seen Marlo be very nasty. Very nasty last season and this season. What she did to Brooklyn is messed up. She would never be around my child or anybody else's. Could you imagine if she had done that? You know, how she is over there maybe treating her nephews allegedly. I mean, how she done put them out even though they already have abandonment issues. Marlo gives me, I only have room to think about myself, and it's about me. Also, Marlo is pitting the girls against each other this season, and she's trying to recruit. And I'm going to say this to anybody that is kissing Marlo's behind right now. You better hope that Marlo keeps this peach, honey. Because if Marlo don't keep this peach and y'all done pick the wrong side, y'all are definitely Sonya, Courtney playing for the wrong team. The wrong team. We all know that SHEREE has never kept a peach consecutively. All right. And if it wasn't for Martell, I don't think they would be allowing her to hold a peach for next season. I don't even know what next season is going to look like. But we daggone sure don't want to hear about Revenge P Martell Holt. Allegedly. We don't want to see none of that. Okay? None of it. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying, honey. Because I'm sick of them.
You faking everything. Where's the house that she was building? Where's all the other stuff? Where are the... Explain to me why you have a chairlift in your house. Is it to help with the old white men going up to your bedroom? Why else would somebody have a chairlift in their house? This 30s, well, now she's 50, but why would you have a chairlift in your goddamn house? Tell me why. Go look at her interviews. In her interviews, it's a chairlift.
Tickled.
Listen, took me out. Best part of the interview was when she talked about this daggone chairlift. I fell out. I started looking around to see if I had a chairlift, honey. All right. So why do you got this chairlift, Marlo? What you doing with this chairlift? Because them nephews can walk. All right. Everybody I seen walk through the door. Why do you got this chairlift? We gonna put hashtag chairlift in the chat. Who needs this chairlift? And life alert, allegedly. See, if Marlo was smart, she would get a deal with Viagra. And depends. All right. All right. Because we all know she likes the old white men. Allegedly. All right. She likes the whites. The carcass of the Cajun. And she likes them, you know, 1 foot in the graveyard and the cemetery, honey. And that's why it's really hard for me to believe that she is dating the exact opposite. You know, a younger black man is not her type from what I understand. Okay, so, you know, Kenya called him Scotch Bright. Fell all the way out onto the floors in shambles. Okay, and so what do you guys think about the chairlift? What do you guys think about Marlo and Scotch Bright? Okay. She called Matt Crazy Eyes, which I felt, listen, now we all know that Matt was a mess. A complete mess.
Then he just came up to the door and kicked the window. He broke the window in the garage.
This is out of control. Are you kidding me? Mac.
Okay, so Matt was crazy as all hell. Let's not forget that. So Crazy Eyes is a great name for him. So the interview was amazing. It was one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that was her relationship with Portia. When she said that Portia had never hit below the belt. And I immediately said, but she drug you off the couch, child. And that's when she said, oh yeah, but she hit me. So I'm happy to see that Kenya and Portia evidently are in a better space. I do think that it's crazy that people give Portia an excuse for dragging Kenya off of the couch. I think a lot of you guys need to read your laws, all right, and understand that it is no excuse as to why Portia should have put her hands on Kenya. She could have removed herself from the couch. She had many of options to get out of the way if she was triggered and offended. So I do want to say that. I do want to put that out there. And then we seen as Portia went along, she had attacked, other people on camera. And so I don't think that Kenya, having this prop was the only reason why Portia behaved the way that she did. We seen countless times, even on the newer spinoff she had with Dennis and his mom. She literally chased his mother, allegedly. Like, when are people going to realize that it does not matter what happens around this woman until she gets a hold of herself and learns how to handle herself in situations that might not feel that great. I want to put that out there, that it's a Portia thing. It's not a Kenya problem. To put that on her when Portia has been violent, in my opinion, in many instances, is beyond crazy to me. But anyway, let me know how you guys like the Carlos King interview with Kenya Moore. Let me know if you guys enjoy Kenya Moore on the show. How do y'all feel? There are rumors that Kenya Moore may be leaving and exiting Real Housewives of Atlanta. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that the show will survive without Kenya Moore? I personally don't think that the show would survive without Kenya Moore. Now, would the show go on? Probably. But would it survive? I'm definitely not watching if Kenya Moore leaves. Definitely not. At this point, as a fan of Kenya Moore, I need to see Kenya evolve on this show. I think that is very unfair that we didn't get to see anything when it comes to Brooklyn. And yeah, we get to see Brooklyn now, and she's fighting for us to get that little piece of her. But I think that Bravo definitely needs to give Kenya a spin-off, okay? A special. And I think that she's well deserving of it. I do think that Kenya spinoff should be based around her talents. Let us see Brooklyn, and also let us see her do interior design. Allow us to see her writing plays or developing screenplays. You know what I'm saying? Let us see the talented part of Kenya Moore. I also would love to see, her tiara and like her gown. I would love to get into that. So I do think that, and also we have the new hair spa. So, she has some things going on that would be intriguing. I would love to see Aunt Lori again. I would. I would love to see Aunt Lori and how she interacts with Brooklyn. And you know, her dad, you know, I want to see more of Kenya's family that she does have a relationship with. And I think a spinoff would be really, really nice. Or a special. Look, give us, you know, y'all gave Portia about 5 or 6 episodes. I think Kenya can hold down 6 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Give her a little coin. She definitely did well on the Real Housewives girl trip. And so I would love to see her without the girls. I think she could hold it down without the girls. Some people are saying that she wouldn't, which is absolutely crazy to me. That you guys wouldn't think that she would be able to hold down a special. She definitely would, especially since we've missed so much and there's a lot of talk around it. Okay, and so listen, this is Shenita with the news. Okay, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe. Get kinky, freaky, and nasty. All right, with that notification bell, turn that thing on, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye.